hello there everyone, welcome back to the James Redmond TV. These intros are getting well worse. Right, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another Redmond Roundup where we talk about all the latest LFC and football topics. Make sure you grab a cup of tea or whatever it is you do to chill, and also enjoy the video. Smash a like if you haven't already, subscribe to join the Redmond's army, and let's get right into today's Redmond Roundup. So Liverpool are in talks with Virgil van Dijk to sign a new contract that could be worth up to £50 million. 200 grand a week though, so it's not like we're just going to go, yeah, Virg, even though your boss and probably deserve it, it's 50 million. It's going to be split over a few seasons. I think if I'm going to have it a guess, 4 to 5 seasons is the length of time that we're going to offer. I haven't actually saw a confirmation of how long we're willing to offer Virg a contract, but I'm sure it's around that length, 4 to 5 years. That will keep him at the club till he's about 35, which I am all for, because one thing about Virgil van Dijk, he's not really someone who relies on pace. He's not really someone who's ever relied on... Maybe when he was younger, you know, I saw Virgil van Dijk, and listen, mate, he's not slow for how fucking huge he is. And I'm not just talking huge or, you know, huge. I'm talking about friggin' huge. He's muscular. He's built like a fucking tank. Weighs probably about 15 stone, yet he's still outpacing a lot of 9-stone strikers and wingers just because that's what he does. But here's the thing that I've noticed with Virgil van Dijk. Even when he does get outpaced, a prime example was last season or the season before. Last season, when we played Arsenal had Pepe up against Virgil van Dijk, and not because of pace did Virgil van Dijk keep up with Nicolas Pepe. It was because of positioning. It was because of knowing where Pepe, or guessing where Pepe was going to go, knowing where he was going to end up, and then making that final decision. Virgil van Dijk isn't just a physical specimen who's boss and physically got the attributes to be one of the best centre-backs in the world, but he's also got the IQ. He's also got the experience. Virgil van Dijk now is, 27, 28? This is someone who, if we do tie down to the next 4 or 5 years, I am very comfortable in saying we're going to have, at the very least, top 2, because yes, new centre-backs can come into the picture, and you know the way football fans work. I think Virgil van Dijk will be the top 3, top 2 best centre-backs for years to come. I think he's going to stay the best, but at worst, surely we've got at least 2 to 3 good, you know, the top 2 to 3 best centre-backs in the world over the next 4 to 5 seasons. That's what I think would be mostly ideal for Liverpool, and I think that's a possibility for Virgil van Dijk. You know, when you look at Virg, does he want to stay at the club? Of course he does. You know, I think there's something about Virgil as well, where yes, even though we don't have Champions League, and yes, we've had a poor season, Virg will know him not being there has had a massive part to play in that, and he's going to want to prove that he can make the difference. He's made the difference once, so why can't he come back into the team and make the difference again? Why? And Virgil van Dijk's always came across to me as, you know, he likes to make sure he doesn't have any unfinished business. Celtic, he won everything he needed to do. Southampton, I believe he felt he achieved what he could at that club. Now it was for the next step. Now it was to come to Liverpool Football Club, help them get over the line and winning a Champions League or a Premier League. And what did we go and do in the 2 seasons, or the 2.5 seasons at Liverpool that he's had? We got to a Champions League final, we then won the Champions League, and then we won the Premier League. And that was all due to his influence that he had on the squad. So this will be interesting. Obviously, Fabinho needs a new contract. Salah needs a new contract. We're going to talk about Salah a little bit more in a bit. There's loads of players, as well as loads of other players who need to go. There's loads of players we need to get on contracts though. Virg, Fabinho, Salah, all these type of players do. But the first one you get secured down straight away for as long as possible is Virgil van Dijk. But people down below in the comments, let me know. Are you happy with these wages that are being offered to Virgil van Dijk? Or I say, give him 300 grand a week, because the difference between a Virg and, let's say, a David De Gea, I believe Virgil van Dijk can stay at the top of his game over the next few seasons, whereas David De Gea, even though still very, very good, he's dropped his levels. Let's say an Aubameyang, who's on 300 grand a week as well, another player where relies a lot on his pace and relies a lot on being able to actually get in behind the defence, and he hasn't been able to do that in this Arsenal team. Whereas Virgil van Dijk, he's someone who dictates the play himself based on his IQ. So let me know in the comments down below what you think of this situation. Now, next in the news, we have got Lukaku and Mohamed Salah being linked with Chelsea Football Club once again. Now, obviously, these are 2 players that have played for Chelsea, done okay, but they never quite lived, like their best career have came outside of it, and these two are now linked back with them. Now, for those who don't know, Mo Salah is in a race in the Premier League to become the top goal scorer. Lukaku is the top goal scorer in Italy, and also he's just won the league. Does that mean he's going to go back to Chelsea? I mean, I don't think it's impossible, but I also don't know if you're Lukaku, if that's really the thing that you desperately want. Do I want to go back to the league when I'm actually playing in a system where they play to my strengths? What's the thing that he didn't have when he was at Man United? What's the thing he didn't have when he was at Everton? They weren't playing to his strengths, but he was still scoring goals. So now if you look at Chelsea, they've got a striker in Timo Werner who's, yes, his movement is quality. Yes, he's able to get assists. And I actually think he's had a better season than what a lot of people give him credit for. However, at the same time, on the same page, you've got a Lukaku who, if you give him half the chances that you give Timo Werner, he's going to score them. He's going to. Lukaku isn't just one of these players as well where he's slow. He might be a bit clumsy, but he ain't slow. He's got pace for days. He's got the physicality, as we know, to compete in the Premier League. This is someone who went to West Brom and absolutely tears it up. But I'm not here to talk about Lukaku. I'm here to talk about Mo Salah. Now, Mo Salah to Chelsea, is this impossible? Now, that's the first question I asked with Lukaku. And the reason why I talked about Lukaku is because they're both in very similar situations. Salah is doing well at Liverpool. He should be happy at Liverpool. But there's still reports suggesting that because Liverpool haven't offered him a new contract or don't seem to be anytime soon, Salah has to keep his options open, which, that's fair enough, I suppose. And here's the thing. I don't think Salah will go back to Chelsea. I don't think this is the move. I think if he's more likely to leave, he's more likely to go back. Well, has he actually played in Spain? I don't think he has. I think he'd be more likely to go to a Spain, maybe even a Germany or an Italy, somewhere like that. I don't see him going to another Premier League team. But if there was a Premier League team I think he'd go to, I do think it'd probably be Chelsea. I don't ever see him going to a Man City team, and I don't ever see him going to, well, anytime soon, like a Tottenham or an Arsenal, with the fact they're not successful enough. But Chelsea, they're in the heart of London. They are now going on an upper trajectory. If they spent the right money, I don't see why Mo Salah would say no. Mo Salah has said he wants to win the Premier League and Champions League again. He'd be able to do that at Chelsea. So even though I don't think this move will happen, it's one thing to keep an eye out on, especially if Liverpool let Mo Salah's contract run down. That's the thing that I don't want to happen. I really don't want us to realise the fuck up that we will make if we do not sign Salah on a new contract. You do not sell what has been one of your more consistent attackers over the past few seasons. Whether you think he's been the best isn't really the debate. He's been the most consistent. From the moment he joined, he has been more than world class. In a time like right now, Mo Salah is the one that's kept us crazily in a top 4 race. So even though there's circumstances that come into that, we can't overestimate what Mo Salah's done for this club. And if we sell him, I think that's a big mistake. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, here's another piece of breaking news. So basically, Mo Salah to go to the Olympics in our pre-season. So from July till, I think it's August, he will be participating with Egypt in the Olympics, therefore missing our pre-season, boss. That's not the number one thing, that's the issue though. The number one issue is that there's also the African Cup of Nations, which comes back in January. Now, the thing about the African Cup of Nations is it's still been going on season in, season out, except they moved it to the summer. Now it's being moved back to January, which is what the format was, I think it was 2 seasons ago. That means not only are we missing Mo Salah for pre-season, we're also going to miss him in January, between, I think it's January 2nd till the end of January, which is just a big shame. However, what this means also is that we're not only going to be missing Salah, we're also going to miss Naby in that time, and also Sadio Mane, which I'm not going to lie, it gives me concerns, because even though Mane, he could be back into form then, and that will be a big loss, even if he's not in form, it's still good to have someone as an option for the team in what will be a busy period. Then you've even got Naby, someone who I am expecting, at least if he's fit, to be involved in the first team more next season with Thiago and Fabinho, build a little partnership there. If he goes and that interrupts it, again, it's not a very ideal situation to be in. So I had to bring that news to you in case you didn't know. And do you think that this will have an impact on Liverpool's season? Because at the end of the day, besides this one, the title is usually decided by fine margins. At least our title races are decided by 3 points, 4 points. That January period, Salah, Mane and Naby Keita can well and truly be the difference of 3 points or a 6 pointer or whatever it is. They can be the difference to that. And to lose them, that's something that I'm worried about. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about that news. Because, yeah, why can't it be in the fucking summer, for fuck's sake? Right, and then just the last couple of topics I'd like to talk about before we end today's Redmond Roundup. The top 4 race, still fucking alive. Fuck you, Leicester. I'm just trying to accept that this top 4 race is finally over. Like, it just shouldn't exist no more. Man United have confirmed their spot. City won the league years ago. Leicester, they should be in the top 4. Brendan, why are you doing this, Brendan Rodgers? Like, I know that you used to manage Liverpool, but, you know, you had your time to get us top 4. You don't need to get us top 4 right now. And that's what Brendan Rodgers seems to be doing. 4-2 loss to Newcastle fucking United. With all due respect. Newcastle United, they gave us a few tough times. They just drew it against us. They drew against us earlier on in the season. I'm not trying to banter Newcastle. But 4-2, you're taking the piss. Nah, mate. And it's because as well, Leicester have got tough games between now and the end of the season. They've got like Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham in the remaining 3 games. We've got a game in hand, which will be the Man United game. And then we've got like West Brom, Burnley, games that we should win, not like guaranteed wins, because let's be honest, there's no guaranteed wins no more. However, this top 4 race should have been dead a long time ago, and the only reason it's not, and I don't think we'll get top 4, because in our remaining 5 games, we're going to need to get at least 13 points to get top 4. Do I think we're going to get 13 points? No. However, let's say we even get 12 or something crazy like that, and Leicester keep dropping points. Let's say Chelsea drop points again or whatever. They're playing Man City, aren't they? So let's say they drop points against them. This top 4 isn't impossible, even though it should be. It should be done. Like, we shouldn't be talking about this bollocks. We should be talking about the Europa League and the Europa Conference and how we're going to deal with that situation. Instead, we keep getting lifelines. So hopefully Liverpool can take full advantage of these lifelines, because if we can get top 4 and Man United lose the Europa League final and Chelsea lose the Champions League final, I'm happy to call this season a success. But then things need to happen, and that's a lot of ifs, that's a lot of buts, and that's a lot of maybes. But people, thank you for watching today's Redmond Roundup. I'm going to end it there because I don't want to get too excited about that thought of us getting top 4, United losing a final, and Chelsea losing. I don't know, though. That's just what I'm praying. You know what I mean? Fingers crossed. Anyway, people, the Southampton preview is out on the channel already. It's my last video, so if you want to go and check that out, go and check that out. I live streamed it yesterday. Smash a like there as well if you haven't already. Smash a like on this one if you haven't already. Thank you very much for all the support. Big up yourselves, Redmond's Army. I hope you have a marvellous day, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.